So in this video, we're going to talk about polynomial division part 1. So, polynomial division part 1. And then Professor Cook has a video which will be polynomial division part 2. I don't think she called it part 2, but she's going to do the long division. So when you're dividing a polynomial, so if you have a polynomial divided by another polynomial, there's two things that can happen, and it depends on what this second polynomial here looks like. So if this polynomial is one term, so no addition signs and no subtraction signs in it, then we will put the one term under each of the first polynomial's terms. If it's two terms or more, but we're going to stick with two terms, meaning that there is a plus or a minus sign, then you have to do long division. And that long division, that's going to be another video. Okay, so what I mean by one term. So for example, divide. Maybe I have something like this. 6p squared minus 18p to the 4th plus 30p to the 5th, all that divided by 6p. So if you notice, in this second term here, there are no addition or subtraction signs. And so because there's no addition or subtraction signs, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take each one of these pieces and I'm going to put it over top of the 6p. So this is going to become 6p squared over 6p minus 18p to the 4th over 6p plus 30p to the 5th over 6p. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify each of these pieces. So if you notice here, these two 6's cancel. And so this first piece, also, if I look at my p's, I have two p's on top and one p on the bottom. So I have more p's on top and I have one more of them. So this is just going to turn into p. Another way to think about it is that this p cancels out one of these and I'm just left with one. In this piece here, 6 goes into 18 3 times. My 1p here gets rid of one of these 4, so I'm left with 3 of them. So I'd have minus 3p cubed. And in this last one, the 6 goes into 30 5 times. This 1p goes into the 5, and I'm left with 4 of them. So this becomes plus 5p to the 4th. So polynomial division by just one term, we just have to put each piece over each of the other ones. Long division, the ones you would need to do long division, it might look something if you had like 6p squared minus 18p to the 4th plus 30p to the 5th divided by, say, p plus 6. So that would be an example where you need to do long division, which we'll go over in the next video. So let's do some more examples of this where you don't have to do the long division. Okay, so let's try this one. They don't have to be written how it was last time. I could write it as one giant fraction to begin with. So 2x cubed plus 8x squared minus 2x divided by negative 2x. So again, this only has one piece down here. There's not a positive or a negative. Even though it looks like there's, I should say there's not an addition or subtraction sign. There's a negative sign, and sometimes the negative signs, we think of them as subtraction, but this is still all just one piece. It's not something minus 2x, so I can still split it up. So this is going to be 2x cubed divided by minus 2x plus 8x squared divided by minus 2x minus 2x divided by minus 2x. And if I go through piece by piece, right, the 2's would cancel. One of these x's gets rid of one of these, so I'm left with 2 of them. So this first term, I have an x squared, but notice down here at the bottom, I still have this negative here, so I need this to be a negative. And it doesn't matter whether you put a negative on the top or on the bottom, it doesn't matter where it goes. So I'm going to put it just out in front, or out in front of the number. So I'm going to put it out in front of the x squared. This one here, the negative 2 goes into 8 4 times. 1x goes into here, and I'm left with one of them. So, and again, I still have this negative, so I'm going to have minus 4x. And then here, the 2 and the 2 cancel. In this case, the negative and the negative also cancel. And the x's and the x's cancel. So everything cancels out. If you have a term where everything cancels out, you can't just get rid of it. So basically what we're saying is 2 goes into 2 one time, 2 goes into 2 one time. X goes into x one time, x goes into x one time. So that last piece is really just a giant 1. And that's how that one would simplify. So I have one more example here. So part C here, so minus 8r to the 4th w squared minus 4r cubed w plus 2w squared, all divided by 4r cubed w. Okay, so again, it is all one piece on the bottom, all one term, so I'm going to split it up. So minus 8r to the 4th w squared divided by 4r cubed w minus 4r cubed w divided by 4r cubed w plus 2w squared divided by 4r cubed w. And if I start canceling things, 4 goes into 4 one time, 4 goes into 8 2 times. 3 of the r's cancel out 3 from the top, so I'm just left with one of them. One of the w's cancels out one of these, so I'm just left with one of them. Here, the 4's cancel, the r cubes get rid of all of them, and the w's get rid of that. So remember, that's going to be one that when we go to write this here in a second, we're going to have minus 1. And then on this one, 2 goes into 2 one time, 2 goes into 4 2 times. 1w here cancels out one of them there. And so this answer is going to be, from this first piece, I have a negative 2, and an r left on the top, and a w. And I don't have anything on the bottom, right? I can think of the bottom as being over 1, but I don't really need to write that, so I could just write it as minus 2rw. In the second piece, everything canceled out. So again, right, I can think of it as 4 goes into 4 one time, 4 goes into 4 one time. R cubed goes into R cubed one time, R cubed goes into R cubed one time. W goes into W one time, W goes into W one time. So this second piece would be a minus 1. So this is just going to be minus 2RW minus 1. And then this last piece here, I have a W on the top, and on the bottom, I have a 2R cubed left. So it's going to be plus W over 2R cubed. And so that's how you do the division when there's just one term on the bottom. And then the next video is going to show you how to do the division when there's 2 terms on the bottom.